My name is Paul Babbage. Welcome to Golfing Sense.
Hi, my name is Paul Babbage. I'm a teaching professional at Farley Golf Club. I'm out on the first tee on our red course today. The reason I've chosen the first tee is because this is about surviving the first tee shot. Whether it's because of pressure you put on yourself, pressure of other people watching, or a competition, most of us feel a bit of nerves on the first tee shot. So I'm going to try and show you the things that you should be thinking of on that shot to stop yourself hitting the worst nightmare shot, which is the one that you're telling yourself you just don't want to happen. And then hopefully if you can get away with a decent enough shot on that hole, it'll give you some confidence to improve from there. So, going to come over to the tee box. So before you even pick the club you're going to choose, the first thing you should do is come over and you stand on the tee, so you've got your perspective, and then you look at where is the worst place you can hit this ball. So when I look at this hole in particular, down the right hand side there's a couple of bunkers and fairway, tiny bit of rough, but there's not really much there. On the left hand side there's a whole line of trees waiting to eat the ball up, and you've lost it. It's 3 off the tee if you hit there. So the one place you must avoid is left. The other issue with this is that this is a right to left dog leg with a left to right wind, and the trouble's down the left. Most people hit left to right shape with their ball. So a hole like this is particularly difficult as the first hole, because you might be stood here thinking, I need to start this down the left hand side to get a straight shot, but actually that's so close to the trouble and you end up pulling it in the trees and you lost your ball, or it just adds to the pressure. So Steve, par 4, dogleg right to left. What club would you feel comfortable hitting on the first tee? Are you someone that likes to hit the biggest head possible because it's more to aim at? Yes. Or the club that you're most comfortable with, which might be a 7-iron?
I usually kind of...
Okay, that's fine. Doesn't really matter which one of those people you are. If you've got the driver and you like that because it gives you comfort that the head's quite big, I do it myself and there's plenty of room to hit, then that's fine because it actually makes you more comfortable. If you don't really like hitting your driver, use an iron that you're comfortable with. Now if that means hitting a 7 or a 6-iron, that's fine, because the important thing here is getting the ball in play. Right. So Steve's going to go with the driver.
The trouble is, I do know there's that ditch up there as well, which is a bit of a problem.
There is a ditch that's 200 yards away. If you go in the ditch, it's not the end of the world. Yes, you drop out, you might make a 5, but the point of surviving the first tee is the mental side of it. By surviving the first tee, it means getting off with a decent shot, because mentally you're in a good place. If you hit a terrible shot, you're mentally fried, and it's going to take you a long time, holes to recover, and it's the damage beyond that. So Steve, as I've mentioned, all the trouble is down the left-hand side. That's where you lose your ball.
Yes.
So to counter that, we're going to tee up as far left as you possibly can on the tee box. The reason being, the further left you go, the less you're going to notice everything to the left-hand side. All those trees are now behind me, and I can't even see them once I'm aiming up. And I'm naturally just looking at the right-hand side of the hole, which is safe. If I was to stand in the middle, suddenly I can see the trees, and they're not only are they in my eye line, they're actually in front of me, they're not behind me. So mentally they're in my picture, whereas from here they're not.
It was horrible.
So Steve's hit a shot there, and the real positive here is that ball is in play. The ball flight itself actually had probably about 15 yards of right to left on it, so you could argue it was a bit of a hook. Now, if he'd have actually started that ball down the left-hand side of the hole, that's lost, that's in the trees. Because he was aimed well and he was always hitting away from the trouble, a shot that might have put him in trouble hasn't, and he's absolutely fine. So it's a confidence-boosting first tee shot with those nerves.
It was horrible.
As a first tee shot, you'd take that, wouldn't you? Because you're walking up the middle of the fairway. How could you...
That would ruin my day.
I'll be posting new videos and tutorials regularly. Hit the subscribe button and join me, Paul Babbage, on Golfing Sense.